The essence of acting like you've already won lies in embodying the confidence, mindset, and energy of success before it has officially arrived. It is not pretense, but an act of faith, a declaration to the universe that you know your worth and believe in the inevitability of your triumph. This principle pushes us to move as though the victory we seek is already within our grasp, infusing every action with purpose, every step with certainty, and every word with authority. There's a secret whispered in the wind, carried by those who dare to dream, those who refuse to surrender. This secret is not written in books or etched into the walls of time. It lives in the hearts of those who have claimed their place in this world, not through luck, not by chance, but by sheer, unshakable belief that they already held the keys to the kingdom, long before anyone saw the gates open. I'm not here to tell you a story of waiting. I'm not here to preach patience or counsel stillness. No, today I am here to tell you that the prize is not in some faraway place, sitting high on a shelf where only the chosen few can reach. I am here to tell you that you must walk as if the crown already rests upon your head. You must speak as if your words have weight, as if they bend the air itself. You must act as though the world has no choice but to make room for you, because it already knows who you are destined to be. Now you might ask, how can I act like I've won when my hands are empty, when the path before me is steep and the ground beneath me trembles with uncertainty? That is the moment you must remember this. The greatest victories are born first in the mind, not in the world. The world waits for a signal from you. It watches how you carry yourself. It listens to the echo of your voice. If you move through life as though you have already claimed what is yours, the world will conspire to prove you right. There is a rhythm in the universe, a harmony that aligns with those who dare to believe. And belief, my friends, is not a soft thing. It is not fragile. It is a force, a power that moves mountains, opens doors, and turns whispers of doubt into roars of certainty. When you act like you've already won, you command this force. You become its master. Imagine this. A seed does not question whether it will grow. It does not look at the earth around it and wonder if it will ever touch the sun. It simply knows. It stretches. It reaches, acts as though the sky is already within its grasp because it understands something profound. And so it must be with you. Do not wait for permission to believe in your own greatness. Do not seek validation in the eyes of those who have yet to see your vision. When you act like you've already won, you begin to live in alignment with the life you are meant to have. You move differently. You think differently. And those who doubt you will find themselves questioning their doubts. And proximity makes you walk differently than when you walk with difference. But make no mistake, this is not about arrogance or pretense. This is not about pretending to be something you are not. No, it is about stepping fully into the truth of who you are, even when the world has yet to catch up. It is about letting the fire within you burn so brightly that it cannot be ignored. And you will stumble. There will be days when the weight of it all feels too much. Days when the shadows of fear and failure will try to pull you down. But in those moments, remember this. Winners are not those who never fall. Winners are those who rise again, who dust themselves off and walk forward as if they never fell at all. When you act like you've already won, you are not only convincing the world, you are convincing yourself. You are training your mind to see opportunities where others see obstacles. You are teaching your heart to hold firm when the winds of doubt blow strong. You are becoming the person who does not merely dream of victory, but lives it. Think of those who have changed the world, those whose names are spoken with reverence and awe. They did not wait for the world to believe in them. They did not hesitate until the stars aligned. They moved as though they were destined to be great because they knew in their souls that they already were. So I ask you now, what will you do with this power? Will you sit quietly, hoping the world will notice you? Or will you rise, take the stage, and act as though the spotlight was always meant to find you? Let me tell you something. The world will try to test you. It will throw challenges in your path and whisper doubts into your ear. But when you act like you've already won, you do not flinch, you do not falter, you look the world in the eye and say, I am ready. And as you walk this path, remember that it is not only about you. When you act like you've already won, you light a fire in others. You show them what is possible. You remind them that they too can claim their victory, that they too can rise above the noise and the chaos and find their place among the stars. So carry yourself with the grace of someone who knows their worth. Speak with the authority of someone who has a story to tell, a mark to leave, a destiny to fulfill. And when the world questions you, as it surely will, let your actions be your answer. Because you see, my friends, the secret is not in waiting for the world to crown you. The secret is in knowing that you were born crowned. The secret is in walking, talking, and living as though the throne was always meant to be yours. But let me take you further, deeper into this understanding of victory already being yours. Imagine for a moment standing at the edge of a vast sea. The water's dark and endless. You can't see the other side. And the waves seem determined to rise against you. In that moment, the question isn't whether the sea will part. It's whether you will step forward as though you already know it must. You see, the act of stepping forward isn't about arrogance or blind hope. It's about an unshakable belief in the inevitability of your success. It's about knowing that every step you take bends the world in your favor, that each motion forward rewrites the rules of what is possible. And the irony? The world responds not to hesitation, not to doubt, but to certainty. It respects conviction, admires determination, and follows the lead of those who walk as though the road was made for their feet. The greatest among us, those who carve their names into the annals of time, don't wait for the tide to turn. They wade into the waters, confident that their very presence will command the waves to part. And when the world tells them to wait, to be patient, to hold their dreams tightly until a better time arrives, they smile and walk ahead anyway, because they already live in a place where the better time is now. Now, some may say, what if I fail? What if the world doesn't bend to my belief? What if I'm met with silence where I expected applause? To that, I say this: failure isn't the opposite of success. It is its greatest ally. When you act like you've already won, you understand that even your missteps are part of the path. They are not barriers, they are whispers. They are not defeats, they are whispers of how to move better, stronger, wiser. Imagine a sculptor standing before a block of stone. To anyone else, it is just a formless slab, heavy and unyielding. But to the sculptor, the masterpiece already exists within. Every chip, every strike of the hammer reveals what has always been there. And so it is with you. The masterpiece of your life, your victory, your triumph, it is already within you, waiting to be revealed. But you must act as though it is already there. You must approach each day as though you are simply uncovering what the world has yet to see. When you act like you've already won, something extraordinary happens. People begin to notice. They see the way you carry yourself, the way you speak, the way you move through life with a purpose that cannot be denied. They may not understand it at first. They may even doubt it. But eventually, they cannot ignore it. Because when you believe in yourself, truly and deeply. You give others permission to believe in you too. And let me tell you something else. This isn't about perfection. It isn't about having all the answers or never making mistakes. It's about showing up fully, unapologetically as the person you are meant to be. It's about standing tall even when the winds howl around you. About speaking your truth even when your voice shakes. It's about knowing that your worth is not determined by the opinions of others, but by the fire that burns within you. Think of the sun. It doesn't rise each day seeking approval. It doesn't shine more brightly because someone asks it to. It simply does what it was meant to do, illuminating the world without apology or hesitation. And you too must shine. You must step into your light and let it guide your way, knowing that the path ahead is already yours to walk. But understand this. Acting like you've already won is not a solitary act. It is a call to connection, to community, to the collective power of humanity. When you move with purpose and confidence, you inspire others to do the same. You become a beacon, a lighthouse in the storm, guiding those who are lost or uncertain. And in lifting others, you find that your own strength grows. There will be days when the weight of it all feels too much, days when the voices of doubt grow louder than your own. On those days, remember this: even the tallest trees bend in the wind, but they do not break. They stand firm, their roots deep in the earth, their branches reaching for the sky. And so must you. When the storms come, and they will, stand tall, bend, but do not break. Act as though the sun will shine again, because it always does. And let us not forget the power of gratitude in this journey. When you act like you've already won, you move through life with a sense of thankfulness, not just for what you have, but for what is yet to come. Gratitude turns every step into a celebration, every challenge into an opportunity, and every moment into a gift. It reminds you that victory is not just about the destination, but about the journey, about the person you become along the way. Now, close your eyes and picture this: a stage, lights shining brightly, and a crowd waiting in anticipation. You step forward, your heart racing, your palms sweating. In that moment, you have a choice. You can hesitate, let fear take hold and shrink into the shadows, or you can step boldly into the light, your head held high, your voice steady and strong. You can act as though you've already won, as though this moment was made for you, as though you were born for it. The choice is yours, and it always has been. Will you wait for the world to tell you it's your time, or will you decide that the time is now? Will you let fear dictate your steps, or will you move with the confidence of someone who knows they are destined for greatness? Because here's the truth. You don't need permission to be great. You don't need approval to chase your dreams. The power to succeed, to thrive, to rise, it has always been within you. And when you act like you've already won, you unleash that power in a way that cannot be contained. So stand tall, speak boldly, move with purpose, and know that the victory you seek is already yours. All you have to do is claim it. Keep walking, keep believing, keep acting as though the world is waiting for you to take your place, because it is. And when you finally arrive, remember this: you didn't just win. You always were a winner. Victory, you see, is not an event, not a single moment frozen in time. It is a series of choices, a pattern of thoughts, a way of being. It is not marked by applause or trophies, though those may come. Victory is decided long before the crowd gathers or the accolades pour in. It is decided in the quiet moments, in the spaces where no one is watching, in the way you carry yourself when the lights are off and the room is silent. It begins with a decision to rise above what the world says is possible, a decision to see yourself not as you are, but as you could be. And that vision of yourself, it must be so vivid, so real, that it pulls you forward like a tide that cannot be resisted. You must dress for the part before the curtain even rises. You must speak the words of victory before the ink is dry on the chapter of your triumph. And when doubt whispers in your ear, as it surely will, you must silence it with action, with resolve, with the quiet confidence of someone who knows they are walking a path that has already been written. And this confidence, this belief in your own inevitability, it will not come from outside of you. No one will hand it to you, gift wrapped and ready. It is forged in the fires of your own determination, shaped by the trials you face and the choices you make. It grows stronger every time you step forward, every time you refuse to let fear dictate your actions. There will be moments when you feel alone, when the path seems too steep, the distance too great, but even in those moments, you must act as though you have already arrived. Because in truth, you are never alone. There is a strength within you, a force that connects you to something greater than yourself. And when you tap into that force, when you align yourself with its power, there is nothing you cannot do. Think of a bird perched on a branch. The branch may sway, it may bend, but the bird does not fear falling. Why? Because it trusts not in the branch, but in its own wings. And so it must be with you. Trust in your wings. Trust in your ability to rise, to soar, to go places you have never been. Even when the ground feels unsteady, even when the winds shift and the skies darken, know that you have what it takes to fly. And yet, acting like you've already won is not about ignoring the challenges or pretending they don't exist. It is about facing them head on with the knowledge that they are not obstacles, but opportunities. Each challenge you overcome, each fear you conquer becomes another stone in the foundation of your success. Let me tell you something about fear. Fear is a storyteller. It whispers in your ear, weaving tales of failure, of rejection, of everything that could go wrong. But you must remember, fear is a liar. Its stories are not the truth. They are only the shadows of your own doubts. And the way to silence fear is to act, to move, to step forward, even when the path is unclear. Because action is the antidote to fear, and momentum is its greatest enemy. Picture a river flowing through a valley. The rocks in its path do not stop it, they shape it. The river flows around them, over them, carving its way forward, always moving, always reaching for the sea. And you too must be like the river. Let nothing stop you. Let every obstacle become a part of your journey, a part of the story you will one day tell. Today, this day of connecting with you and talking to you and about your books makes me enchanted. And what a story it will be. A story of courage, of resilience, of unyielding faith in yourself and your purpose. A story of someone who refused to wait for the world to give them permission to succeed. A story of someone who acted as though they had already won, and in doing so, made it so. But remember, this journey is not just about the destination. It is about the person you become along the way. Each step forward, each challenge faced, shapes you into someone stronger, wiser, more capable. And when you finally reach your goal, you will look back and see that the victory was not in the achievement itself, but in the journey that brought you there. Now imagine this. You are standing at the foot of a mountain. The peak is hidden in the clouds, and the path is steep and treacherous. But you do not hesitate. You do not question whether you are capable of reaching the top. You begin to climb, not because the summit is guaranteed, but because you know that every step you take brings you closer to it. You climb because you have already decided that the peak is yours, that the view from the top will one day belong to you. And as you climb, you will find that the journey itself is its own reward. The lessons you learn, the strength you gain, the perspective you acquire, these are the true treasures of the climb. And when you finally stand at the summit, you will not only see the world differently, you will see yourself differently. You will know that you are capable of more than you ever imagined, that you are stronger than you ever believed. But let me remind you of something important. This is not about perfection. It is not about never making mistakes or always having the answers. It is about showing up every day with the best you have to give. It is about trying, failing, learning, and trying again. It is about embracing the journey with all its ups and downs and knowing that every step forward is a step closer to the person you are meant to be. So walk with purpose, speak with conviction, live with the confidence of someone who knows that their story is not yet finished, that their greatest victories are still to come. And when the world questions you, when it doubts you, when it tells you to wait your turn, remember this: you are not waiting for your turn. Your turn is now. Because the truth is, you are not defined by what you have or have not achieved. You are defined by the way you carry yourself, the way you face the world, the way you act as though the life you want is already yours. And when you do that, when you move through life with the energy and mindset of someone who has already won, the world has no choice but to respond. It will not always be easy. There will be days when the path feels too steep, the journey too long. But even in those moments, you must keep moving. You must keep believing. You must keep acting as though the victory you seek is already yours. Because in the end, it is not the world that decides your fate. It is you. It has always been you. And so I ask you, what will you do with this power? Will you let fear and doubt hold you back, or will you rise above them? Will you wait for the world to believe in you, or will you believe in yourself first? Will you act as though you've already won, or will you wait for permission to step into your greatness? The choice is yours. It has always been yours. So choose to rise, choose to believe, choose to act like you've already won. And in doing so, you will discover that the life you've always dreamed of is not something you wait for. It is something. Keep walking, keep believing, keep moving forward, one step at a time, until the world itself begins to move in your favor. Because when you act like you've already won, you don't just change your own life, you change the world around you. And that, my friends, is the greatest victory of all. And so it goes, the dance between belief and reality. What you must understand is that reality often lags behind belief. It hesitates, as though testing your resolve, waiting to see if your conviction can withstand the trials it places before you. It's as if the universe itself asks, how much do you truly believe? How deeply do you trust in your own power? Your answer to these questions must come not in words, but in action. Each step you take forward is a declaration, a defiance against the doubt that lingers in the shadows. Each time you choose to act like you've already won, you are signaling to the world that you are not merely dreaming of success, but living it, breathing it, becoming it. There's a kind of magic in this, a power so profound that it defies explanation. When you carry yourself as though you are already victorious, you begin to attract opportunities that align with that energy. People will look at you differently. They will sense something in you, a quiet confidence, an unshakable belief that compels them to believe in you too. But this magic, this power requires something of you. It demands consistency. It is not enough to act like you've won when the path is clear and the winds are at your back. You must act like you've won even when the skies darken, even when the storms rage, even when every step feels like a battle, because it is in those moments when the odds seem insurmountable that your belief is truly tested. Imagine a ship sailing through turbulent waters. The captain does not abandon the wheel, does not question the ship's ability to reach its destination. The captain trusts in the ship, in their own skills, in the stars that guide them. And so it must be with you. You are the captain of your own ship. And no matter how rough the seas, you must hold steady. You must act as though the harbor is already in sight, as though the calm waters beyond the storm are already yours to claim. And what of those who doubt you? What of the voices that tell you to be realistic, to lower your expectations, to settle for less? These voices, whether they come from others or from within yourself, are merely echoes of fear. They are not your truth. Your truth lies in the fire that burns within you, in the vision of what could be, in the certainty that you are capable of more than the world has yet seen. But let me tell you this, the journey is not just about proving others wrong. It is about proving yourself right. It is about honoring the promise you made to yourself, the promise to live fully, to dream boldly, to chase the life you know you were meant to have. And when you act like you've already won, you are keeping that promise. You are saying to yourself, I am worthy. I am capable. I am enough. Now think of the child who takes their first steps. They do not walk with hesitation or fear of falling. They walk with the belief that they were born to move, to explore, to discover. And though they may stumble, they do not stop. They rise again, each step a triumph, each fall a lesson. In their eyes, there is no failure, only progress. And so it must be with you. Walk forward with the same innocence, the same determination, the same belief that you were born to move toward your destiny. And as you move, remember this, you are not just creating a life for yourself, you are creating a legacy. Every action you take, every choice you make sends ripples out into the world. You have the power to inspire, to uplift, to change the lives of those around you. When you act like you've already won, you are giving others permission to do the same. You are showing them what is possible, reminding them of their own potential, igniting a spark that may one day grow into a fire. But understand, too, that this power comes with responsibility. When you carry yourself as though you've already won, you must do so with integrity, with humility, with a heart that is open to others. Victory is not a solitary pursuit. It is a shared experience, a collective triumph that grows when it is nurtured, when it is given freely. Think of a garden. Each flower, each blade of grass contributes to the beauty of the whole. And yet each one must grow in its own way, must stretch toward the sun in its own time. Your victory is a part of this garden, a part of the greater tapestry of life. And when you act like you've already won, you are not just claiming your place in the garden, you are helping it to grow, to flourish, to thrive. And as you walk this path, you will find that the very act of believing in your victory transforms you. It changes the way you see yourself, the way you see the world. It opens doors you didn't even know existed, reveals possibilities you had never considered. It is as though a light has been switched on, illuminating the path ahead and giving you the courage to take the next step, and the next, and the next. But this light, this belief in your own inedibility must be nurtured. It must be protected from the doubts and fears that seek to extinguish it. You must guard it fiercely, feeding it with action, with persistence, with the knowledge that every step. And when the day comes, as it surely will, when the world finally sees what you have always known, that you are a force to be reckoned with, a light that cannot be dimmed, you will look back on this journey and see that the victory was not in the applause, not in the recognition, but in the choice you made to believe, to act, to move forward with the confidence of someone who had already won. For in the end, victory is not a destination. It is a state of being, a way of moving through the world that says, I am here, I am ready, I am enough. And when you live in that state, when you carry yourself with that belief, the world cannot help but take notice. It cannot help but move aside, clearing the way for you to rise, to thrive, to claim the life that has always been yours. So keep moving, keep believing, keep acting as though the life you want is already yours. Because the truth is, it is. The moment you decide to act like you've already won, you have. And so as you stand at the crossroads of doubt and destiny, remember that the choice has always been yours. Victory does not wait for permission. It is claimed by those who dare to step forward with unwavering belief. To act like you've already won is to embody the life you desire, to turn possibility into certainty, and to transform dreams into reality. Each step, each decision, and each moment lived with purpose creates a foundation for the triumph you seek. You are not just living for the applause at the finish line, but for the strength, wisdom, and courage forged along the way. Carry yourself boldly, trust in your own power, and let your actions declare your inevitability. For when you believe with all your heart, act with all your might, and walk as if you've already won, the world will rise to meet you, and victory will be yours.